What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Few. We are officially done with the divisional round, and my goodness, those were some crazy games. And one of the craziest things that happened after the games is everybody deciding that Aaron Rodgers is done with the Green Bay Packers. We don't know if that is officially true or not, but we are going to discuss today whether or not he will be in the NFL next year or hosting Jeopardy next year. But before we get into the video, I want to say like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed today's video. It helps us out a lot and would mean a lot if you guys hit that sub button. But we're done with that intro. We're going to send things over to Mason so he can talk about Aaron Rodgers' future with Jeopardy.
I think my internet's messing up, so I hope we can get this done without a problem. So, guys, has Rodgers played his last game for the Packers? We don't know. This playoff loss has sparked all the trade rumors back up. We are hearing all kinds of different things right now, but I kind of want to start by talking about this game. Um, at the beginning, it looked like the Packers were going to own everything. They were controlling the ball. They were driving up and down the field. They had like a 70-yard, 75-yard throw to Aaron Jones. It looked like they were just going to be able to control this. The 49ers played well. I think after that 75-yard catch, they had the first special teams mishap where the 49ers blocked the field goal. So then it was still, I think, either 7-0 or 7-3. And then they targeted Aaron Rodgers targeted the heck out of Devontae and not anybody else. Um, it was interesting to watch. I don't know what to think about it, guys. Do you have anything to chime in on that game?
I just want to speak to what you just said, where he targeted Devontae like mostly. And the first time that they played back in week 3, he targeted Devontae Adams 18 times, which was his season high. And he only had 12 catches. I don't know if he thought it was just going to be the same type of recipe where he can do it again. We all know that Devontae Adams is that guy. He can basically take apart any team, but they were relying heavily on the run early on. They had Aaron Jones going. They had A.J. Dillon working. Then I think it all kind of turned when A.J. Dillon went out. When he got hurt, he took that really
Yeah.
hard hit. Reports came out a day later that he actually fractured ribs on that hit. Wasn't able to go for the rest of the game. And I think that was kind of a turning point because it's like you don't have that 1-2 punch anymore. It's easier to rely on being able to stop, especially with that front seven of the 49ers. Eric Armstead, you got Fred Warner in the middle, Nick Bosa. They can start to stifle the run. And then when you're passing it to just one player, not getting other people involved, it's kind of easy to shut everything down. That's why you started seeing him go 3 and out. And then at one point, I think it was like maybe 4 minutes left to go in the game, and they had only produced 58 total yards in the second half.
Yeah.
That's crazy compared to what they had from the get-go. The first drive, I think, went for 75 yards and a touchdown. So,
All right, and that should lead us straight into talking about where we think Rodgers is going to land after that pitiful performance with Green Bay. Is he actually going to return to the team? My final answer, drum roll please. No, he's not coming back to the Green Bay Packers. There's no chance. I think if they try to keep him and they won't trade him, I think he'll just retire and he'll continue his long-term Jeopardy goal. But if they do decide to trade him, I want to talk about what teams he could possibly go to, and I want to hear what Paul's thinking for his number one team, his number one destination.
so right before I actually give you that team, Matt LaFleur came out and said that the entire front office is unified in keeping Rodgers and bringing him back. So to speak on what you just said at the beginning, I think it's more so he'd retire. I guess the likelihood of him retiring is a little bit more than him going somewhere else, simply because I can't see a team giving up a king's ransom for him, considering he's already 38. He could be coming off back-to-back MVP seasons. That's, I mean, that's an amazing feat in and of itself. And we've seen Brady go till he's 44, 45. Who's to say Aaron Rodgers has that same passion? We've seen that he doesn't really fully embrace being in Green Bay. So if he goes to another place, obviously he doesn't want to be in a rebuild. And a team that I don't think is in a rebuild is the Denver Broncos. They're one of the most quarterback needy teams. I know John Elway was already trying to make a run at him earlier this year, as was San Francisco and Kyle Shanahan. That I think is different now after they just beat him in the playoffs. That to me is kind of like a Kevin Durant type move. If you can't beat him, join him. I don't think he'll go that route, even though he is a SoCal boy. So my top destination for him is Denver. They have a really good run game. They have solid receiving core. They're really young in almost every aspect, and the defense is still top notch. I think they have great players, and this could be a situation where he could step in and easily lead this team to the playoffs. Now, success in the playoffs is a different story, as we've seen so far. The AFC is touting a lot of great quarterbacks and a lot of great talent. You have Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to put Derek Carr in there anyways. You have Justin Herbert. So the AFC could be a complete bloodbath if Aaron Rodgers goes to Denver.
Disrespect to not even saying Joey Burr, but that's all right. I won't say anything about that.
Yeah, I forgot Cincinnati was in
Not
there.
even talking about the division where he'll see Patrick Mahomes twice a year and he'll see Justin Herbert twice a year.
And then the
that
worst
would
team
just
being Derek Carr.
he's never
also.
seen that.
Who do you think he's going to play for then, Mason?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm in agreement with Paul, but I think there's multiple options. Is there a crazy scenario where the Saints can kind of lure Drew Brees over there? They've got a really good defense. They've got, if Sean Payton, that would like keep Sean Payton, I believe. That would keep Alvin Kamara happy. Maybe they keep Michael Thomas out of the deal. But then, really, to be honest, the Saints are kind of like just another Green Bay Packers. And when you look at talent around the team, so I don't really know if the Saints would fit. You've got the Pittsburgh Steelers as an option. I don't know. But what makes the most sense to me is the Denver Broncos. Now, before the season, before they just lost to the 49ers for the third time for Aaron Rodgers' career in the playoffs, I would have said
Time.
40. What?
It was the fourth time.
I would have said 49ers makes the most sense out of all the teams, but to jump ship, like you said, it just doesn't make any sense.
It might not make sense, but who's to say he won't do it? I would love to see him play for the 49ers because I would love to see what Aaron Rodgers could do with somebody like Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. That would be just absolutely terrifying. And then you'll have Elijah Mitchell still there.
I
Raheem
don't want to
Mostert
see it
would
as a
come
Rams
back.
fan.
That would just be, oh man, it would be so fun to watch though. Aaron Rodgers being unleashed there in California, not having to play in the cold weather anymore, like the snowy Green Bay, like actually getting to see him play in some pretty decent weather for the first time in his career. Like that'd be pretty interesting to see. Kind of like Tampa Bay, like Tom Brady goes down to Tampa Bay and now he's just throwing 5,000 yards a season instead of his 4,000 a season with Bill Belichick and his defensive styled mind. So I would love to see Aaron Rodgers go to a team that will just unleash if he went over there.
So with that being said, Stone, could you see a hypothetical of they just traded up in order to draft Trey Lance as their future? Could you see them swapping Trey Lance, giving him to Green Bay in a deal for Aaron Rodgers? Or do you think that they would just kind of stand pat?
If I were the Niners, I would want to do that trade. Like I don't see Trey Lance necessarily as like the greatest, quarterback talent to come out of college in a long time. I think he reminds me a little bit of a better version of Jordan Love. I'm not a big fan of either of them, to be completely honest with you. And I think if, like, people are talking about Trey Lance taking Jimmy Garoppolo's job at the end of the season, I don't know if that's necessarily the right move because Trey Lance, he could hurt the team. Whereas Jimmy Garoppolo, at least he knows he's a game manager, and he is, like, when he hurts the team, he still helps the team out by, they taking the ball out of his own hands and giving it to his playmakers. Like, he's pretty smart in terms of doing that. So I think
the only reason I asked though is because of draft compensation. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but it's like they just traded all that in order to move up to 3 to get Trey Lance. So you don't have first round picks to give him for Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Green Bay is going to want to take on Jimmy G in that massive contract. I mean, at that point, it's like you're going to have to give up Trey Lance and maybe a Deebo Samuel or some other huge playmakers in order to kind of even get the Green Bay Packers interested in trading Rodgers there,
I would say they would probably have to give someone away on defense. I don't think they would possibly consider Deebo or George Kittle. I think those are like their untouchables there in San Francisco. I don't think they would ever consider trading them, and they would do whatever they could to get Aaron Rodgers to pair with those guys. But obviously, that's an unlikely situation. It's just what I would prefer to see. Most likely situation, as you guys have stated, Denver Broncos or even retirement because he doesn't have anything left to prove other than maybe he needs another Super Bowl under his belt to be considered a top 5 quarterback of all time, even though I already put him up there. I don't really care too much about the Super Bowls. He's clearly probably the most athletically gifted / talented quarterback to ever play the game thus far throughout a career.
Easily.
If you guys don't have anything else to say, though, I'm ready to break us out of here. If you guys enjoyed the video today, like it, comment down below who you think Aaron Rodgers is going to play for next year, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed today's video. It means a lot to us, and it's good content for you guys, so why not go ahead and just give it a subscription? You're still here, you like the video, go ahead. Subscribe to the channel. We post each and every single day. We try to, at least. And without further ado, I'm going to give things over to Mason. He is going to break us out like he always does.
Fantasy Few out, baby. Let's go.